want to talk about the new Bernie Sanders show on Facebook Live called The Bernie Sanders Show. And there's an article on Salon.com that I'll put below, but I've seen this talked about numerous places now. And what's so amazing is there's several things. First, it's Bernie saying, I'm going to keep putting my message out there. And maybe he wants to run for president in 2020, great. Or maybe he's just like, whoever runs for president in 2020, as a progressive, as an actual progressive, these are the things you need to do. And he's also been very smart, as I reported on last month. He's been doing these sort of town halls in like deep red state Trump places and saying, I want to help you, because he knows the Democratic Party didn't. The Democratic Party said, nah, screw you to the worker. I don't care. You know, that's what they did. All their identity politics bullshit. So, what's also great about this is his show is like getting crazy, crazy numbers. He's getting more than like, you know, he's getting millions of views. He's getting more than like what the best cable shows, the best cable news on a good night gets, like the biggest ones gets like, they get, sorry, the video started playing noise. They get like maybe 3 million. That's like a big Rachel Maddow, you know, Bill O'Reilly type show gets those kind of, and he's getting more than that. He said on Bill Nye Science Guy, had his episode with that episode, there was 4.6 million views. They've gotten 25,000 shares. Sanders has 4.7 million followers on Twitter, which is twice more than Senator Warren and Cory Booker. He has 7 million likes on Facebook. This is what's so great about this new medium is, so the corporate media obviously shut Bernie out. You know, I'm sure you guys know this. If you watch the campaign at all, during the primary, I remember, and I've talked about this before numerous times. I remember one time specifically, there was a Bernie Sanders speech during the primary, and they cut away from it to go to Trump's empty podium where he was going to speak. Trump's going to speak. We have to cut away. We have to cut away. No, it was more like a progressive's talking in corporate media. We can't let the American people hear this. Let's go to the fucking circus act. And all they talked about is Trump TV, Trump TV, Trump TV. None of them are talking about Bernie's show. They're not, because he's a threat to them. It's like, I remember when Jon Stewart first started doing The Daily Show, and he was really starting to gain steam. And there was a report that like young people were getting their news from Jon Stewart. I remember watching these people on CNN, this like group of pundits were all like, I can't. And it was their whole tone was, you know, these kids today, they're not watching real news. They're getting it from Comedy Central. It's like, no, they at least believe Jon Stewart. They know Jon Stewart isn't bullshitting them. He's showing them how the whole system is broken. He's showing them this is bullshit, what they're saying, what Fox is saying, and CNN, and these politicians and these reporters are lying. He was calling out reporters, and they had never had that before. He was the first person to truly, there had been political satirists, and, you know, Saturday Night Live in the 70s started with Weekend Update, but they were just sort of doing a parody of news. You'd see like, not necessarily the news, was doing parodies of news. That was fine for them. They could handle that. But when Jon Stewart was showing clips going, watch this clip, there's bullshit, and it's just bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. They were like, whoa, we can't have this. We can't, because we're the authority. You can't take away our authority. And that's what Jon Stewart did. And they can't handle this. Bernie is getting his message out however he can. And it's real simple. He's just like doing it like, you know, it's a little bit more amped up than this, you know, like it's so great. And he knows too that like, you know, people in the 18 to 35 range are not watching cable anyway. As I've said before, the average age of MSNBC is 63. 68 is CNN. Fox News is 71 years old. So MSNBC is for the kids at 63. So this is fantastic what Bernie's doing. I haven't even watched yet because I just watched My girlfriend sent me this article. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. I encourage you to start watching it and to share Bernie Sanders, get his message. Because he is not pulling back from the, single payer healthcare and Medicare for all, which is important. And I know I did a Bernie Sanders, and some of you were like bummed out. You think I know that woman, Deborah, that does the same progressive. She feels like he's sort of sold out, and I don't think he has. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's sold out. I know when he backed Hillary, it bummed me out and a lot of us out. And I think at the time he did that, he was just, I don't know, anything to stop Trump. But now he realizes that the Democratic Party doesn't want to change. He said as much as interviews, and he's like, fuck this, I'm going to do this myself. He's an independent, He was an independent, became a Democrat to run in the primary, then went back to being an independent. So I don't think Bernie has sold us out. I don't think he's bailed on his life of doing the right thing for people and for progressives. So I highly suggest you watch the Bernie Sanders show on Facebook Live. And this one. And, he's got a job, so I could use your support financially a little more than he could. But, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. He's a good guy to back. But I'm going to keep reporting on as many independent things as I can. Patreon links below. Like and subscribe is below. Watch the credit roll of all the other Patreon backers. Your name could be in there too. If you have a business name, whatever. There's a lot of cool bonus things you get for being a backer. Thanks for watching.